There are some transmog items in the game that are somewhat hidden and don't even show up in your Transmog-Tab until you collect them. Some of them are pretty well known, but some of them might even surprise you. Starting off with some cosmetic items that can be used by any class. First we have Alaina's bonnet. This headpiece can be obtained only on Alliance side, but used with every character afterwards. You need to play the Legion introduction questline. Easiest way to get there is making a new character, ideally an Allied Race or Pandaren Death Knight to start at level 10, and then talk to Chromie. Pick the Legion expansion and just follow her instructions. While doing the introduction scenario, play until you reach phase 6. Then just walk over here to this altar and you can pick up a locket from a pile of ashes. Finish the event and turn in the quest. Afterwards make your way over to Eastvale logging camp in Elwood Forest and talk to Alaina Halfsong. What happens next might be one of the most cruel things we have ever done in the game. We give her the locket, it belonged to her husband, she is sad and tells us to please not leave her all alone, and well, we leave. And when we come back, she is lying dead on her bed upstairs. She freaking suicided, and we just take her belongings and leave again. Holy fuck, Blizzard, what is wrong with you? And what happened to her child? Well, you just got a new headpiece, congratulations. Then we have a waste of time. Getting this belt takes a long time, hence the name. Basically you need to visit a lot of different locations and interact with objects all around the world. I will link you a Wowhead article about that in the description, because explaining all of this would be worth its own video. Then we have the Chosen Dead armor sets. These can be acquired in the Halls of Valorate on the Broken Isles. The mythic version is not available anymore completely, but the other sets still are. The full LFR set can be obtained in any difficulty and from any boss with a small drop rate of below 1%, which means you have roughly a 12% chance per week per character if you go in on all difficulties. The normal set can be obtained by completing the quest Trial of Valor, The Lost Army. For this quest you need 1000 Valajar soul fragments, which can drop from the bosses Gram and Helya inside the raid on any difficulty, but also in small amounts from the Helajar world quests around the Broken Isles. The quest can be accepted from Odin after defeating him. The Heroic set is a guaranteed reward for defeating Helya on Heroic or Mythic difficulty. The artifact weapons from Legion are pretty well known, but they too only show up after obtaining them, and they have many different looks you can unlock, including some hidden appearances. I have a playlist covering most of these if you are interested in them. But for the base version you want to go to Dalaran above the Broken Isles and wait until a quest giver comes to you. Then you want to do this quest line until you get the chance to unlock one of the 3 weapons. The other 2 will be unlockable after finishing the first quest as well. These were the main weapons during Legion, but they also added a bunch of other ones that are fairly unknown. Starting with the big ones. The Hammer of Vigilance, Teshalash and the Scythe of the Unmaker. These weapons can drop from certain raid bosses with a very low drop rate. The Hammer of Vigilance might be looted from the Maiden of Vigilance in the Tomb of Sargeras. Teshalash may drop from Agrama, the penultimate boss of Antaurus the Burning Throne, and the Scythe of the Unmaker can drop from the final boss of Antaurus, Argus the Unmaker. On Mythic difficulty he can also drop a red version of his weapon. Before we continue, since you are enjoying Transmog related content, I have a lot more of that, and also guides for mounts, hunter pets and other cosmetic stuff in the game, so make sure to check that out too and subscribe to the channel to not miss out on anything else in the future. But now back to the video. During the Legion assaults all around the Broken Isles, you have a small chance of looting one of 11 weapons and 2 shields. These have very cool designs, and one of these weapons is one of the longest swords in the game. Then there are also some weapons and shields from Argus. For the achievement Commander of Argus, you have to defeat every single weremob on the 3 zones of Argus. Those are 60 a total. After defeating all of them you get the Arsenal Weapons of the Lightforged, and this arsenal includes the following weapons. Next we have the Dark Shaman outfit from the Siege of Orgrimmar raid. The 7th boss, the Dark Shamans of the Corcoran, can drop these sets only for Shamans. However, this set was also available during the Pandaria Remix event, and there you could get it in 3 different colors, which can be used on any class. But if you missed that, you can still get it, for Shamans at least, with a low drop rate. Then there are also the vestments of Tide Sages, which can be used by glove classes. This set can drop from the bosses Tide Sage Council and Lord Stormsong in the dungeon Shrine of Storms in Stormsong Valley in Kulturas on Mythic difficulty with a very low drop rate. The Scarlet Ensembles and the Quap Scarlet Tabard can be bought on the Darkmoon Isle while wearing the Tabard of a Scarlet Crusade. It's important to wear the actual item and not just have it transmogged. You can get the original Tabard from Armsmaster Harlan in the Scarlet Halls dungeon, or if you have a Scarlet Key you can also go into the old version of the dungeon and enter the armory to possibly get it from one of the mobs after killing Herod. The Quap Tabard you can buy is basically the original one, just shorter, and the ensembles for mail and plate armor look exactly the same and resemble the old Scarlet Monastery set. The blackened Defias outfit for leather classes has become available again with the introduction of classic time walking, however only the items that can be traded are shown in the Transmog-Tab. The chest piece, for example, is not shown. And also, you can get the full set without running the time walking version of this dungeon countless times, but you need to be a rogue for that. As a rogue, you want to go to the Dead Mines in Westfall. Make your way through the whole dungeon and get over to this ghostly parrot. Now you need the battle pet Greenwing Makar, which can also drop inside of a dungeon. Summon it and get into the Outlaw spec. Use the bonus ability you get here to get up to this NPC and accept his quest. Now loot 100 bandanas inside of a dungeon and as a reward you get the whole outfit. Even though you need to be a rogue to unlock it that way, you can technically also use it as a druid or monk. As a hunter you can get the Dark Ranger suit. For that you want to go to the Hunter Order Hall, which is located in High Mountain on the Broken Isles. But you first need to do the intro questline to the Order Hall. After doing that and arriving there, talk to Death Hunter Morgoth and click through his dialogue. Buy 13 black roses and bring them to Dark Ranger Velonara. Click through her dialogue as well and return to Morgoth. Talk to him again and after that you can accept a quest from Dark Ranger Velonara, accept it, return to Morgoth and you can buy the helmet from him. Monks can buy the Hand Webs of Serenity from Master Tan at the Peak of Serenity in Kunlai Summit in Pandaria. Those are basically invisible fish weapons, so you can technically hide your weapons. As a demon hunter you can unlock the Warglaive of Azenov by first obtaining both legendary weapons from Illidan in the Black Temple and then completing the Black Temple as a time walking raid during the Burning Crusade time walking week. You do not have to complete this as a demon hunter, but only demon hunters can use the weapon after you unlocked it. Next we have a bunch of items that once were removed from the game, but nowadays are available again, like the original tier 3 sets from Naxxramas. These items are now available from a black market auction house or with very expensive profession crafting. But also other items, like the ones you can get in the old version of Scholarmans, the ones from the open world bosses that reappear with an anniversary event every year, including items like Akama's Edge from Doomwalker or the Unmelting Ice Girdle from Azurigos, which is needed for a full Nefarian transmog for example. But there are also many more items from these bosses that have no other way of obtaining it, and therefore are not shown in the Transmog-Tab. Then, finally, I want to mention a few items that actually are shown in the Transmog-Tab, but have some unknown features. First we have the Dukin Ukin Quarterstaff, which you can get from Yosen in the Nizov Assault version in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. When you look at it you might realize that this staff is not two-handed, but a main-hand staff. Because of this very unique feature, when you transmog it, it will not be sheathed on your back, but on this side, making it the only staff in the game to do that. Demon hunters can get their hands on Alawashino, a secret warglaive that adds some cool nature effects to some of your abilities. I have a separate video for this item, so I will just link it here. Then there are the Forest Lord Antlers, which I also covered in a different video. These are a cosmetic item and usable by any class, and while wearing it, birds will appear and land close to you. Next we have a tier 6 helmet for warlocks and their tier 20 counterpart, which is available for all clove classes. While having one of these helmets transmogged, demonic wings will show up every time you jump. And speaking of jumping, if you play a plate wielder and transmog your boots to the coinage stampers, which can drop from opulence in the Battle for Lazar Alor raid, you will see gold coins falling out of you every time you land on the ground. Maybe you are also interested in weapon illusions? If so, make sure to check out this video. Shout out to the channel members. I hope to see you next time. Until then, see you!